Welcome back to my 100% playthrough of Heretic on the Black Plague Possesses the Difficulty, played through the Heretic plus Hexen re-release on the Kex Engine. We are doing all levels with a 1-star, and this is E5M3, Quay. Now a Quay, spelled Q-U-A-Y, it is a war for a duck, pretty much, but that specific word comes from French. It is Quay, which, believe it or not, actually comes from Gaulish, cagium, which is like an enclosure, or a pen. But with all that said, we can now begin the level, and, well, take a look at it. It sure looks different, doesn't it? Well, the first thing we're gonna do is move these pods out of the way. A little bit over here. And now let's blow them up with the power of the Elven Wand. And there will be others that you can blow up as well, which you should. And if you haven't blown them all up, you can wait for certain enemies to arrive. Before you say au revoir to each and every one of them. Particularly gargoyles and the nitro golems. You want to make good use of these pods to blow up said nitro golems. And yes, there will be that Iron Lich there to harass you for a good portion of this early part. Perhaps even longer, if you keep them alive. But if you feel like getting rid of him sooner rather than later, you can begin the sniping session a bit early if you really want to. But I really recommend getting rid of these nitro golems first and foremost. Even if it means you might not have enough ammo to snipe this guy at first. And yes, we are low on health, but there are plenty of crystal vials to go around in this early area as well. Case in point, there's quite a few over here, so we're gonna grab them all. Because this may be our only chance to grab them while we're here. And while the water is still like this. And at least it will be until we do some things later. For now though, I'm going to get rid of this guy with our trusty Elven Wand. Slowly and methodically. Even if he hurts you with all those little ice crystals. Yes, they are annoying. And yes, we are low on ammo. But we'll find a way through that. Because we have time bombs of the ancients. We grab them from here. But when we go into here, we're going to use some of those time bombs to at least push some of these guys out of the way. And at best, we might get some good explosion damage on them. And if you really feel inclined, you can poke them to death. But the key thing you want from Quay is to grab the ethereal crossbow. And yes, you can still use some explosives on these guys. But usually, by the time you get the crossbow, you should be able to finish them off with that. Anyways, when you press this button, the water will begin to lower, so make sure you've grabbed all the stuff from there before you actually press the button, if you need it. But when all is said and done, we can drop down. Grab that energy orb, we might need it later. And let's fight these undead warriors. There should be 2 of them out here. And if you need more health, there are crystal vials around these corners, which you can grab. Which are very nice to have. And there are also crystal vials over here, but when you go over here and try to grab a silver shield, there'll be an Iron Lich here! Oh no! And when you cross into this area, there'll be saber claws coming out of this place. And when you go out here, there'll be Iron Liches waiting for you here as well! So you might have to do a little whirlwind dance in order to handle all these whirlwind attacks, all the other things that the other Iron Liches are throwing at you. And I do encourage you to use a crossbow on these guys. Otherwise, you will not really have any weapons to deal with them because you don't really get a lot of ammo in this level. And you do not get a bag of holding in this level. I'll spoil you with that. There is no bag of holding in this level anymore. There used to be one at the start after you dealt with the whole shebang with all these guys at the beginning in the original, but here, in this version, you do not. You still get this secret though. So let's grab all that, even if I am being a little lenient with my ammo capacities. Now you do get some ammo for your Crystal 1 from there, but that's one of the few spots you actually get ammo for it. Aside from the beginning. Now of course there's this spot as well because there's some symmetry going on, but we're just going back and forth, and as you can see, I'm using this as a way to get out. We're getting some enemies to infight, just so we don't have to deal with all of them at once. And even if they don't really infight that much, you can still get them to move around just from alerting them. Now ideally you want to focus on those Nitro Golems snipe you from the balcony because of how quickly their projectiles are tossed and how many of them will be coming at you. I know there are also projectiles from the Undead Warriors. At least you know they'll be going in a straight line, but with the Nitro Golem projectiles, they can lock onto you, of course, so dealing with them is more of a priority to me than anything else. Anyways, there is a chance that the Undead Warriors from this door will come out. At least 2 of them might. But speaking of Undead Warriors, there's ghostly Undead Warriors in this part, so you want to watch out for them as well. So I wasn't as cautious. And yes, they are ghostly Undead Warriors. Let me prove it to you. Because when you grab the yellow key, the area that has all of them opens up. And they will be very eager to throw their axes your way. But if you get hit by any of them like I did, you don't need to fear too hard. Because once you get rid of all of them, there are 2 quartz flasks here as well. And while we're around here, you might as well get rid of all these Undead Warriors. In the windows. Yeah, the Undead Warrior window dressing. And there's some here as well. But keep in mind other ones here as well. And of course, you should still have some opportunities to grab some crystal vials, as well as torment some other enemies. There's a big crystal geode pickup. Yeah, that's probably the only opportunity you'll get crystal 1 ammo, or Alvin 1 ammo even. While we're here though, we have an opportunity to open this up and get this secret. However, you want to leave just about immediately because there will be several Nitro Golems that are very eager to meet you. Very eager indeed. Look at them all. I think now would be a good time to use that Elven Wand as well, since we ran out of claw ammo. But you could use the crossbow as well once you get a foothold in here. But you kind of do want to immediately leave because there are going to be so many Nitro Golems in that immediate area that it's kind of not worth it to stay any longer than you need to. Anyways, let's get the rest of this stuff here. And we should be good to go. Because we now have the yellow key. In case you didn't see it, the yellow key is over there. Over yonder. in this little corner. But now we have it, we can go into this section. We're gonna grab both the crystal vials, and let's get the Hell Staff and all the runes, every single one of them. Well, we may use a Shadow Spear here very soon, because we're also gonna lower this, grab the green key and the quartz flask. Yep. And there's lots of disciples very eager to blow your face off with their purple magic. So we're just gonna ride these barrels into this place using the Shadow Spear to avoid the red axes from the undead warriors. We're gonna get rid of them like so. You get a Tome of Power, you can also press this button. We're gonna press that so we can go into either one of these spots. Both of them open up when you open up one, I believe. You wanna go into this corner to get rid of all the disciples that were sniping you from earlier. But don't commit into this area just yet. Not yet. Before you even think about that, you want to go to this other corner first and get rid of these guys as well. And while you're here, shoot into those pits. You can hear enemies dying when you do. Alright, here's why. Because once this raises up, there'll be several Nitro Golems. Ghostly Nitro Golems, I believe. But still, Nitro Golems nonetheless. Who will be more than eager to shoot Screaming Metal Skulls right into your face. So, getting the drop on them before they get the drop on you is something I'd always recommend. Anyways, no matter what, you want to go onto the right side from this direction to open up this secret area. You press a button that will open up another area. And now we can focus on these guys and these little cages that were harassing me. And one of them dropped a Tome of Power. You will not be able to reach that if that's the case. Oh well. Not like I use them in videos. But anyways, pressing that button on the other side is what opens up this one. But before we even, like, go to get anything from there, first off, there's a Mystic Urn on this side. And on the other side is an enchanted shield. Now with both of those, we can finally drop down into here, press this button to open up the door, and this is where the little pairs of undead warriors were. Same with this area. But when you're done with all that, you have a way out. That's less of a pain than the other one, I suppose. But it also shows that this door has opened up as a result of our button pressing. I don't know exactly which button opened it up, but it was one of the buttons that was on the way here. It was either the one behind the red banner or the one we pressed to open up the other door with this texture. Anyways, we can go out into this area now. It's a secret area, and it gives you a Tome of Power, Quartz Flask, and it lets you beat up all these guys that were out here waiting for you. And hey, look, there's more wand ammo. I was wrong, at least in this regard. But anyways, let's go into here. Because when we do, there'll be an undead warrior guarding this button. And when you press it, you want to go into here to grab these time bombs. Because there are a lot of them, 10 time bombs. And they're very nice to have, especially for this area. Because this Saberclaw will be around a bunch of pods. And you want to blow up the pods with the Saberclaw nearby. But easy to say that's not the only one. So, with the power of time bombs and these pods, you can get a pretty good set of explosions going on. But again, there are a lot of saber claws, so take your time and be careful. And when you're ready to go down, you have to commit. So I'm committing here. You can place a time bomb in these hallways, it is safe to do so, but when you go around here, you want to watch out, unless you're sure placing a time bomb there will either set off a reaction that won't include you in it, or just put it somewhere safe. Yeah. I totally didn't need to place that, but I did anyway. Oh well. Alright, when you go into this room, you'll encounter undead warriors. And you could probably get some damage off of them by blowing up these pods near them. I wouldn't rely on it as like your main source of damage, not at all. But it might soften them up just a little bit. And if you're really lucky with the pod placement, it might just blow up in their faces as part of a chain reaction. But either way, you want to grab the Mystic Urn and then press this button. And while you're here, you might as well attempt to align all these for a future thing we'll be doing with them. Those who have seen some other playthroughs that I did, I believe it was Quest for the Crystal Skulls, and maybe some other WODs, you might know what's going on here. Yeah, it's one of those. For those who don't, I will attempt to demonstrate, but needless to say, we will have to be quick on our feet either way. And even if we are, these can still mess up. So, hey buddies, come on out. Oh, you can't come out? Well, let me give you a good greeting. Come on. Come on, yeah, I like that. There you go. Alright, that's nearly all of them out of the way. Because when you go into here, there'll be two more waiting for you. And who knows, they might drop lesser runes. That might come in handy. But don't count on it. Well, as long as you have Hellstaff ammo, you can spam it in their direction. Okay, so you know how I use the barrels as a platform. We're going to do much of the same for these. So let's see if I place them right. They should be like around the center usually. And they should form like a little bridge. But you have to go around it very quickly, like so. And same for this, but I don't think I placed it right, so I'm just going to strafe run into it. Alright, so this door is a psych gotcha, but this one lowers the water from this part. But if you want to get out of this without having to deal with all this bullcrap, you can blow all this up now and finally escape from here. Yeah, isn't that nice? If you miss any items, you can go back in and you can just escape from this part from now on. But before we even go down here, we're going to clear this place out. Yes, that is an undead warrior, isn't it? But they can get into infights with the Disciple of the Sparrow that's hanging out there. So you can kind of let them do that. In fact, I kind of recommend you do. Though there's also this undead warrior in this little spot, which is inconvenient, because I kind of forgot about him. These things happen. But let's finish off the rest of these guys as well. Even you. And you. And you can open this up to get this secret with a Morphobum and some more runes. And with all that out of the way, we can go into here, get rid of this last disciple, and look, there's an Iron Lich. Let's see if we can... Oh, I think he immediately went to a pain state. Oh well. Let's spam our trusty health staff his way, and let's avoid getting hit by any of those annoying whirlwinds and annoying ice balls. Like that. Nary a scratch. While we're here, we'll open this up and get the secret with a map scroll. Now we can see the whole ding-dong map. And look at it. It's all over the place. And while you're here, you don't want to leave just yet. You want to take this portal, so you can go up here. Grab both of these quartz flasks, press this button to raise the water from this side over yonder. And then you can press this button to lower the pillars in this area and reveal a bunch of doohickeys from the side as well. Including some time bombs, which you can potentially use on the disciples, but you have to be really careful when trying stuff like that out. Alternatively, and more preferably, you can use the time bombs on future enemies we'll be encountering soon enough. But if you want to move these back up after you grabbed everything for whatever reason, you can press this button and it'll slowly raise them back up. And all the buttons inside the pillars will just lower them back down if you happen to find yourself on one of them. Anyways, we can finally... No, we can't, because I have not grabbed this yet. Whoops. Now I can do that. However, yeah, here's a good place to use those time bombs. Just make sure you're not sandwiched between some of these saber claws and you should be good. And if you need to go back up, you can press this button. And it's as simple as that. It's just that simple. Here's another place you can use time bombs. Yeah, it seems pretty good. Now one of the last enemies should be right here. So let's torment him. You can also use a Morphobum if you really want to. But I like to use the Shadow Sphere for this guy because he's obnoxious otherwise. But I believe, yeah, that's the last enemy. And that's the exit. So, let's morph open their corpses. Chicken? Because, yeah, you can go through the regular exit, but for those who know about E5M3, we have some secrets to reveal. And we got all the items. And I didn't even use the other Tome of Power. But yes, this is where the secret exit is. And I didn't even use the Ring of Invincibility as well. So if you want to be extra sure you get through that area with the Hell Staff, you can use the Ring of Invincibility as extra insurance because those disciples and their purple balls of death, yeah, they can really mess you up in that area. Alternatively, you could use it in... well, you could pretty much use it in any other spot, but I think the deadliest one has to be the one with the disciples. So if you really want to use it there, you can. In fact, it will probably keep you safer than the Shadow Sphere. But either way, we are done with this level. So that was the key. And yeah, when I was first playing through this level, I kind of didn't like the changes at first. Because they were all over the place to me, it felt like. But once I started playing more and started uncovering some of the secrets and the different ways to progress and some of the not so secret secrets, mostly just getting to those disciples really made things less irritating for me, to the point where I actually like this level and its changes, because it has changed a lot has changed. There's no Molotov here, but there are certain things like the pod maze the key is just getting everything centered into near the the poles where the pods spawn from. Yeah, just get all the pods centered towards it and make like a bridge around it, and you should be all right. But you do have to go through it quickly either way, and you might have to use some strafe running mechanics in order to get away with certain pod placements. My first grade speech impediment is kicking in again. But anyways, yeah, that's it for Quay. Stay tuned for the next video where we go into E5M3, the secret level of the second episode of Shadow of the Serpent Riders and the 5th episode of Heretic in general, the Skein of the Sparrow. Oh boy. But until then, I'll see you when I see you, so see ya.